Hmm. So we're in the COVID shutdown, meltdown, lockdown, and I'm looking. It's late at night on a Friday. Hey, happy day. Weekend's here. Grab a can of beer. But so I started looking through some YouTube videos, and I found some wonderful content. But it was directed towards women. Um, and it's a very edgy, touchy subject, but it is right now in the forefront. It's the probably the most pertinent thing that we can all talk about right now about relationships. We're stuck inside, can't go anywhere. We're having to deal with our spouses. And there's a lot of women out there talking about how they're, in relationships with their men. And there's a high volume of domestics right now because everybody's at home. Everybody's drinking. The ABC, I just saw the alcohol beverage, whatever the C is, the alcohol beverage consortium in Virginia is up 30 to 40% over what it was previously at this time last year. So everybody's going to the liquor store, and they're just trying to melt their time away while they're in this lockdown. And so things come up, there's things you haven't dealt with for last couple of years maybe. And it may be from small things, like we haven't painted the porch. I haven't vacuumed that room. And now we get the time. Now we get the time to sit at home and do some self-reflection. There's no sports. And sports are heavy centric on male energy. Football, throwing the ball around, grab your boy, go outside and throw the ball. I don't discount, female sports. I think they have some of the most intricate sporting events that you can find with, especially track. The competition you see in track is highly competitive. But at this time of the year, you find baseball on. I don't know. I think hockey goes year round. I think basketball maybe around this time of the year. You'd be coming off of the highs of football. You got the draft going into training camps, probably somewhere close to now, I guess, or at least seeing training videos. You'd see swim camps starting up right about now, which are both male, female. So there's all sorts of outdoor activities which are very close. You're very close to each other, that nobody's participating in because they're all scared of this virus. And my views on the virus, that the same people that were pushing, Donald Trump was the Russian agent, and then that all fell apart, and then Trump was he had to be impeached because he talked to somebody about something in some other country, but that all fell apart. And now all the stuff is coming out about how everything was being pushed by intelligence agencies from, early, even when the campaigns were running. And I'm not even going to be surprised when it comes out that they weren't even just targeting Trump. They were targeting Cruz and Rubio and Huckabee and Carson, and they were all trying to find out, if there was something they could pin on them to put a bad spin in the MSNBC news filter, because that's who they were leaking to. Allie Watkins of the New York Times, Scoops. We'll put out for Scoops, Allie Watkins. And so we're all sitting at home because of this virus. It's so bad. Yet they've had a cure worldwide. We within, I guess, a week of it being figured out here, they started on a virus vaccine, which usually doesn't happen because you don't know. You have to sequence all the little parts of whatever part of it is. You got to figure out what it is, but within weeks, of course, they've started constructing a vaccine. But that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is we are all in a forced self-reflection mode. So, what's happened? Everybody's off the road. Nobody's driving around. Nobody's going to work. Not nobody, but people are forced to stay home. The ones who are abiding by the lockdown orders, they're staying at home, and you have to go out for groceries, and so what are the people who are going out for groceries worried about? They're worried about the supply chain. So on the news, of course, what do they put out? Farmers are plowing under their crops, and they're euthanizing the pigs, and they can't sell their goods on the market. So what happens in the situations? You get into a high anxiety state. So if you're in a high anxiety state and you're already in somewhat of a turbulent relationship, let's say you are previously to this in a relationship where you're maybe your kid's 3, 15, somewhere in those ranges, going into school, coming out of school, and now that kid can't go to school, and you're with somebody who you've only been with for maybe 5 years, 20 years, and there's all forms of getting to know somebody. If you're going to work every day and you're with somebody for 20 years, maybe you really don't get to know them, but all of a sudden you're forced to get to know them because you're all at home. You're all sitting around, and so you're getting to know the best and the worst of the people that you live with. And it was your choice. It was your choice to begin with, to be with them. But now maybe you don't have a choice. So where does that leave you? So you're forced to live with them day in, day out, and you don't feel like you have a way to escape. So before, your work was your escape, or your club was your escape, or whatever your escape may have been, it's gone. So the men, their escape may have been, I watch the ball games. The women, their escape may have been just whatever it may be, the knitting club, or the bridge club, the whatever social club that they may have been involved with, or you may have had something where it was something that just got you out of the house that is now gone. You can't even go to get your hair did, so you can't make yourself look better. You can't. The guys, they can't get their hair done and get that clean, presentable look. So you're all in the same boat, stuck, right? So it's forced upon you to reflect upon your inner self, how you react. How do you react? Do you react positively? Do you react negatively? Do you go out to the ABC as soon as you hit the store because they say you can go to the store and get your food, but the ABC store is open, so you go get your liquor, you get your beer. At the same time, you get your turkey and your lettuce. Or do you participate? Actively participate. So if you actively participate, is everybody else around you actively participating? Do you try to wake them up if you're awake? If you're asleep and they're trying to wake you up, does that get you agitated? There's a lot of little intricacies. It's very complex as to how the whole dynamic of cutting out everything that you knew as your normal life and adapting to a new life. So basically, let's say you're being thrown back into the 1400s where they didn't have electricity and cable, which we don't have any new content. You don't have any really new shows, especially new shows. I mean, there's some new stuff on TV, but there's nothing that reflects life as it is now. There's no we're living through the virus and this is how you should act towards that on like shows like The Simpsons or the daytime soaps, because they can't film it. They can't film it because there's a virus. So you're forced to go back and look at old content if you're so minded as to, I need to watch a show to escape. So some people will go back and they're watching old ball games, and there's YouTube channels that will go back and rewatch series and point out little spoilers from stuff that you may have missed. You might have missed this. So you're watching that. Well, if you're doing that, if you're doing the old, watching the old, and not watching what's in the present, I think you're missing the point of what this whole thing is forced upon us. But I go back to the man and the woman. There's some channels that say that being a woman, we're forced into this, and well, I'm a dude, I'm a man, I'm a guy, I'm a male. Um, I would say that I'm a male that is introspective and however also at the same time an alpha male, so I could be dominant and submissive at the same time. But if you talk to me and you look at me, you work with me, you're like, a man, this is a man's man. So for the women out there who are dainty and feminine and like to get their hair did and be presentable and be nurturers, caregivers, you know, the both the opposite sides of the spectrum with the man and the woman, and you put them in the same household and they're forced to reflect upon their roles and how they interact with each other and what their positions are in life, whether it be you're a home caregiver being a woman or whether you're being a home caregiver and you're a man. You're being forced to look at all that. So add alcohol to all that, fuel the the little things that crop up just in the daily life that normally you have arguments about. So you have our argument about the bills, the cable bill. Everybody's got to pay the power bill. Who pays the power bill? Well, I pay the power bill. Well, it's coming out of my account. Well, all these things are getting put under a microscope. So, are you going to make it better for yourself if you are submissive? Are you going to make it better for yourself if you create conflict? Are you going to make it worse if you do either one of those? That's something that I think we need to all test out right now. Find out where you are with yourself and with your others around you. I mean, if you've got a little one with you, or are you going to over nurture, or are you going to be a helicopter parent, or are you going to let them go out in the street and run wild with the pack of kids? Are you going to try to find that happy medium? Where are you going to be at with your family when we come out of this? Because we're going to come out of this. There's no doubt about that. It's going to end. So are you going to learn, teach yourself? Will you? I mean, what is the worst part of coming out of this? That you didn't learn, or that you just wrote it out? So if you wrote it out, if you just write it out. So we're all drunk all day, and my family has no remembrance of where we were in 2020, and because we were just drunk all day, and we just lived off of whatever we had. We got a little bit of government scrap. Or are you going to delve in and make those life changes, maybe even life discoveries, even if it's not a change? What if you don't need a change? What if you discover that it's great? Wow, look at this. This is wonderful. Victim moan. Hey, this is great. Hey, look at this. Hey, this is great. This is where I want to be. Oh, look at that. You got to figure these things out right now. I mean, you've had a couple months already, and it's looking like we may be coming out on the other side of it. But they're saying you're not done with it yet. You're not done with this yet. You got a little bit more to learn. The government leaders are telling us you got a little bit more to learn. I myself, I've survived the toilet paper shortage. I've adapted, overcome. You know, I got some good hygiene. I make sure I check in with my family every day. In the morning and every evening, I still go to work all day, every day. So I got the sniffles out by the fire. I got the heat in front of me and the cold behind me. So it's messing with my nasals. But yeah, so it's just my thoughts about if you're thinking about it just from a woman's point of view, think about it from a guy's point of view. You know, your man's a woman's a man's. If you're just thinking about it from a woman's point of view, the lovely lady can't get her hair done, who likes to impress her man, who the man, comes home and wants to drink some beer, sit by the fire. Well, the man's point of view, he wants to come home, sit by the fire, and his lovely lady's not all done up. Well, just we have to all adapt. It's not one-sided. It's not from a woman's perspective. There's both sides of it, and especially those of us with little kids that we're going to school. They're missing graduation. They're missing social interaction. Our kids had no worldly view without social interaction that go to public school, and we forced upon them you can't interact with your friends if you're stuck at home. There's certainly a whole bunch of the other spectrum where those kids that are off school, they're interacting with their friends, they're outside, they're running around. I see them, they're in packs and running around playing basketball, sports, and throwing the ball around. You see random people in big open fields throwing the ball around. But it's not just your point of view. We're all stuck in this. We're all in it together. And if you can get along with me throughout this whole shutdown, meltdown, lockdown, then most likely you're going to be able to get along with somebody else who may not have been able to get along with somebody else prior to this. So if we can all come out on this on the other end with a little bit of Maybe tolerance, I guess, would be one. Because, we could tolerate, So, you didn't have your nails done. Oh, honey, you're so beautiful. I still love you anyway. Or, man, your beard is getting long. Or your hair is getting kind of shaggy. Those are aesthetics. Are we going to take aesthetics into account for the being that we're right up against? We're in the same hole. And they keep saying this thing that's on a war footing. We're in the war against the invisible enemy. That's right, the invisible enemy. Well, we're all in a foxhole now. And so, strengthen your relationship. If it's something where you do like the drinky poo, a little alcohol, just wait until late at night. Just wait until a little bit later at night. Don't do it during the middle of the day. If you're really, really, really bored, go find a pencil in the drawer. Go into your junk drawer. Clean out your junk drawer. If you haven't cleaned out your junk drawer yet, clean out your junk drawer. The one in the kitchen, or the one up in the office, or the one in the room you haven't gone into for a while, or even if you've done all that, clean it up again. Clean up the filing cabinet if you got a filing cabinet. Clean that out. Go back 3 years if you haven't. Clean all that out. If you haven't, let's say you haven't scrubbed your floorboards, your trim. If you can, go to the Home Depot if you got a little extra cash. Go to Home Depot, grab a little bit of paint. Paint something. Paint something. Or if you can find something around the house that you can repurpose something. Make something better. Make this whole shut down, lock down, melt down time that you have, make the best use of it. Because it only takes, they say, about 2 weeks to break a habit. So if you had a bad habit before, and that was outside of the house, you've already broken it. So find a new habit. Find something else to do. Find, maybe even ask a neighbor if you have a screw loose or something somewhere. If you can't find your screwdriver, you got a screwdriver because your neighbor's got something that you need. And ask them because they're bored, they're home. Find them, ask them. If they don't have it, you'll end up inevitably getting into a conversation about something else anyway. So at least that'll kill some time. So finding time is not something that you need to do right now because you've got it. It found you. Time found you. So make the best of it. So where I started off with man, woman, seeing women posting, we're in, I have no doubt there's, women that have been, on the butt end of this where There's abuses going on. There's domestics that have kicked off like you wouldn't believe. But it's not just the woman. Men also are subject to being abused by women. There's, you know, people are finding new ways to gaslight each other. There's men who can't find a job, and women who aren't working, men who aren't working, women who can't find a job, kids can't go to school. So everybody's forced to be. They are saying shelter in place. So it's affecting everybody. It's not just you. It's them. It's not just them. So it's like you can play the back and forth, table tennis, da da da. But you have to take others into consideration, and you can't be a victim. You can't play the victim. You can't act like a victim, and don't be a victim. So if there are situations where it is something where you can't get away, of course, for a woman or a man, there are outlets out there. There's resources. And if you can't find it within your own domicile, there's, oh shit, if you're listening to this video, just post something. Hey, I can't find some. I'll find some for you. Done it before. Do it again. I've rescued countless. I haven't had anything come up in the interim, but I found a way. I'll find a way for you. I mean, I can't say that it'll be completely effective if you don't make the effort. But if it's something like, hey, is there a counselor in my area? Is there a resource in my area? I'll tell me where the area is. I'll try to find it. But you got to think, it's not just me. I'm not alone. You're not alone. We're not alone. And it's not a slogan, but we're all forced in right now together, fighting this invisible enemy. And you got to think about that. It's an invisible enemy. In any case, I'm over a half hour here, man. Well, sorry for all my grunts and sniffles, but I'm sitting out by the fire and smoke's coming over, and I got the heat on the front, cold on the back. But I'm still living. Livin. I ain't no Matthew McConaughey, but shit, I still find a way. Well, in any case, I do love you. Man, I love you. And you. And I love you. I love y'all. That's just me talking into my phone.